Hey there, Wargamers, Justin Painting. Today, boom, I want to do something a little bit different. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. If you are new here, please alpha strike that like and subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for having my back. I appreciate you having my six. Thank you for being an awesome lance mate, star mate, whatever the case may be for you. I appreciate you being here to support what I do. That said, today I want to do something a little bit different. I've been putting out a lot of content on the channel. I say a lot, not as much recently as I'd like. Getting people to film some games with me has been a little bit more difficult. So I thought maybe having a video format where maybe I do some hobby stuff, record it, maybe I'll talk, maybe I won't, we'll see. And it's something you guys can throw in the background, maybe see what I'm working on, and kind of have like a hobby buddy in the room with you maybe. So you're listening to me ramble or seeing what I'm working on while you do something to maybe give you some motivation, or just something in the background with whatever you're doing. So today, I'm not going to be working on anything Battletech. I'm going to be working on some Steel Rift models that I stole, I say stole, commandeered from work. I got myself a vehicle pack for, I like the vehicles for the freelancers. I think they're some of my favorites that we make. So I have that. We're going to set that to the side because I'm not going to be I'm using those today, but I commandeered some HEVs and stuff too, because while I do a lot of Battletech stuff, I work at a company that makes its own game, and it might be good if I actually spend some time working on some minis for the game for which my company makes, or the company I work for makes, right? So I thought maybe I would grab some models and kind of, I don't know, build them on the channel here, so you guys can see what it is that I do and get a little bit of an insight. So I've got some ideas for building my mechs out here, or my HEVs, and I really love doing conversion work. So I got a bag of weapon bits, so I have barrels, and we're going to put some of these together. So I say conversion work with our mechs, our HEVs in general. It's not a lot of conversion for me, it's more kind of mixing and matching bits, and that is what I like to do. Now we're going to get in here and start pulling out some of these bad boys and work on assembling some of them, or at least getting some of the parts together, because I think we're going to go for some sub-assembly. I got to find, I don't have anything readily available, but I need to find something that I can mount these torsos on so that I can do some airbrushing, because I want to do kind of a two-tone paint scheme, I think. So we'll talk about that as we get into assembly. So let's find one I want to work on putting together. Let's grab this heavy here. Right here, oops, got some weapon bits flying around. So right here, I've got a couple of parts from various kits that we've got. Let's see if I can get a little tighter in. Here we go. So this right here, minus the weapon little parts, is the new heavy from the freelance industrial mechs, or HEVs. Short of me going to YouTube, I don't remember the name right off the top of my head, but this is the heavy one. The medium's got little mandibles right here. I like these because they have weapon inserts on this one in the chest, which is really cool, and I think that is nice. Rather than using his legs, though, I grabbed a pair of our Mars legs, which I think is going to make for a really interesting conversion here to give this guy a different look. So let's go ahead and grab one of the bases here, because I can go ahead and mount the feet so that we can start working on kind of the pose we want. So I like to have some kind of momentum or movement, overall dynamic posture to my mechs, even in Battletech. So I'll usually have legs facing one way and the torso facing the firing direction for the firing arc. So we're probably going to mount our legs kind of canted to the side a little bit so the torso can aim this direction. So let's grab our glue. And there we go. Trying to center that up pretty well on the middle of the base. Give that a little firm holdy hold. Let's see if we can't get that to bite. Nope, taking a second. What are you doing? Oh, no, there's plenty of glue there. It's just taking a minute to adhere. I'm spoiled because at work I have accelerators, so I can just spritz and instant bond, but I do not have that at home. So I'm going to set that down, let that dry. And one of the things I was kind of thinking with this guy is maybe he's got like an arm. So he's kind of turning like this direction relative to the legs, so like that. Maybe have like this arm kind of back, like he's like got momentum. And then he's got this little like shooter arm, which I think would be pretty cool. Put some weapon bits in that. And then one of the things that I really want to do is mount this, I think, up here. This is a bit from the new corporate multi-limb HEVs. And this is one of the major perks I have at work is I can come in and I can pilfer bits and make what I want. In our game, mix and match and bits is part of the fun, and you could totally do that. It's encouraged. So if you happen to get multiple packs of things, or buy singles, you can start to kind of convert to your heart's content. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to try and work my way into shaving off some of the resin here. And this is going to probably be a little time consuming, so if this takes too long, I'll probably cut to a little bit of music. If I continue to ramble, we won't. We'll see how long this actually takes. I'm trying not to hurt myself here. I don't want to cut my finger. Whoop. But I want to kind of bore out this spot because I want this kind of rocket pod from the multi-limbed corporate mechs or HEVs to fit right in here a little bit more snugly. So we're going to try and dig this out a little bit. And if I had a file of some sort, a hobby file, that would probably work here, being able to get in there. But our X-Acto blade's probably going to get us most of the way, probably do a lot of that heavy lifting for us, and that's actually got in there pretty nicely. So shave that down a smidge. And so while we're doing this, because this isn't anything I'm teaching, it's not formal, it's literally just me sitting down and doing some hobbying, just to hang out with you guys, sign up in the comments below. If you're working on something, let me know what you're working on. If you have an Instagram where you're sharing hobby progress, drop a link in the comments. Let's see what you're working on. I would love to know. So it looks like this is a little bit, this is a little too wide, so maybe we come in and we take off a little bit. So maybe we go like that. I want to leave some, whoops, I'm off the screen because I zoomed in tight on the HEV there. So I'm coming in and I'm kind of clearing out some of those spots on the side to see if we can't get this to be able to more efficiently get or fit into that spot that we made, that dip. And I think, I fear that this is not going to be quite enough. I think we're going to have to dig into the details here to get this to bite. We'll see. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. That's not actually doing anything because these ridges are in the way. So I think maybe we use this as the guide and we take off that full ridge there, which I'm not. Ooh, we lucked out and just did not cut myself. So be careful when you're doing this kind of thing. That slid right here and rotated over. Not a big deal. But he's rounded here, so as I was applying pressure, this rocked in my hand. So if you're doing this kind of thing, just be careful. Don't cut yourself. Don't do that. Would not be good. We don't like hobby bleeding. I suppose I do have super glue on my desk, but I condone hobby safety. You should be safe when you hobby. So, alright. Let's see. I think this is probably going to work. I hate that we had to take this completely out, but if it gets us where we want to be, it gets us where we want to be. And we still got to do this on this side too, which I'm not super keen on having to do, unfortunately. And I suppose a Dremel would probably be my best friend right now, being able to actually just Dremel this away without having to use my X-Acto blade to do all the heavy lifting. But, you know, you work with what you got when you're doing your stuff. And I feel like we have bored that down too much. We're losing a little bit of that curvature. Let's see how we're sitting here. Alright, so that is getting where we want to be, but I'm going to have to dig in quite a bit more. So let's get in here. Okay, so I need that dip to be considerably deeper if I want that to actually sit in kind of on his back, which is the goal. So let's kind of dig out some of this here. Okay. Looks a little sloppy at the moment, but we'll make do. This is there we go. A little bit. It's got a little bit more effort than I expected. But I think once we get through, it's going to be pretty cool. Alright, so, and as you can see, I've tried to kind of respect this cylinder right here, and try and respect that one as well. Because I still want the kind of side details to be there. I'm not trying to get rid of that. I want this to essentially sit down inside. Okay. Alright, so we need to even up over on here a little bit. It's not quite even, so let's start doing some shaving. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's see how that sits down in there. Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to carve down now, kind of right here. We've got that little like natural dip right here in his armor plate, and I think we're going to just try and bore some of that out. Because this has this like a little piece here, this little upraised piece. I'm going to see if we can't get some of that down into that dip. So we create a bigger dip in the middle of the dip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. It's a little bit of a throwback. Ancient song for us oldies doing hobby stuff. Okay. And I think this one's actually going to be the most, like, probably intensive one that I'm doing anything to, if I'm honest. Because I want to put this bit on its back, and it's a bit of an awkward spot to put it. Okay. So, kind of trying to shift the angle here to see where we were. Let's see how we're looking here. That's not perfect, but I like it. So let's get a little dab of glue here, because it's gonna this bit's gonna cover up our crimes pretty well, I think. And I'm gonna try and line up the bottom of the rear, kind of with the back right here. You see that little kind of rectangle in the middle, so we're gonna kind of use that as the spot we want to line this up with. If I can get my glue to cure for me. There we go. Nope. Cool. GG Super Pro glue. There we go. So see, like, that sits in just a little bit. It hides a lot of crimes, and I think that's a really cool mounted bit that looks like it could pivot on his back, and I think that is pretty neat. Alright, so we'll let that dry a little bit. Legs are feeling alright. Let's go ahead and slide our bits there, and I'm going to take our little resin stuff here, and we're going to swipe that off and dump it in the trash so it's not just lingering on my desk. There we go. Alright, so for our overall kind of positioning for this guy, I'm thinking, again, kind of like that, right? That's what I want. Look at this. Look at all those guns. So cool. So cool. So let's go ahead and get his arm on here. And we'll kind of want him facing roughly that way. And we want his arm kind of back. Okay, so he's got that like walking motion, right? So he's kind of got that arm swinging back. He's walking this way. And then we'll put his gun arm on. So he's facing kind of this way here. And we'll grab that gun arm. And actually, you know what? When you have to do that, we'll try and get this gun arm to be roughly level with the other weapons he's sporting. And I initially kind of thought about maybe doing like these howitzer bits on his back. Like that. And I'm not sure how I feel, because I feel like the double cannons up there would be cool, like pew pew. But I also feel like we could put the barrels here, and they'll look like they're doof, doof, like he's shooting them. So I'm not 100% sold yet. Whoops. Because I could also drop these missile bits into this. And this is a bit from, I think it's the medium. Hang on. Let's see if I've got the bits here. I think it's a corporate arm sprue. Might be the medium one. So, I also like the rockets here. I think that's what we're going to do. So, I'm going to need... So, we got two little rocket bits. We've got two of the missile bits. And we've got our howitzers. So, we have to see how we want our howitzer. I think we're going to do... Maybe it was the... Let's see how we feel. And this is the thing with Steel Rift, like, WYSIWYG's not enforced, so I'll build stuff that just looks cool. And then I'll just use my stat sheet to tell me what everything does, because if the model looks cool, I want to play with it. If it doesn't look cool, I don't want to play with it. So, and that's kind of what we want with the game, is for you to be able to build the things you think looks cool. So, I kind of like that. I think that's neat. So, let's go ahead and mount those bits. Little clue, little clue. I also don't sub-assembly very often. This case I am, because I want the torso and the legs to be a separate color. And that'll be easier, but I don't leave the arm housings off very often, or the weapon bits, because I don't want to lose them. And sometimes I do, or I'll forget what I was going to use, so I'll go ahead and build them and move on. So that's kind of how I operate, but you don't have to do that. Let's get those actually straight, because my glue is taking forever to cure, so... Pop that on. There we go. Alright, so I like that. Let's go ahead and drop our rocket bits into his little housing we created. And because this is a heavy mech, he can totally sport a bunch of weapon systems, so leaning heavy into his weapon bits, and that is okay with me. That one looks like it's not sitting quite flush. Did we get it in the right way? There's a little flat side on these that allows them to seat. Okay, yeah, it's seating now. Let's try this one here. Now, there must be something, a little bit of debris down in there, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to chop just ever so slightly. If I can hold this down, a little bit of the end of that. There we go. Because part of this was catching something, so it wasn't allowing our missile to set flush, or a rocket. So now let's rotate that so we get it in there properly. Whoop, whoop. So tiny little fiddly bits. Tiny little fiddly bits. Alright, there we go. Perfect. So push that down. And now he's got his two little rockets up here. And now we're going to drop the missiles in his chest, which I think are just chef's kiss, the cool stuff. Like, this guy looks so cool to me already. So we're going to pop that bit into this one right here. Boom. Give that a little shove. Yeah. So, like, he's looking so menacing. Super cool. Actually, it's got a little flash on it, so there we go. And there we go. So we've got our rocket, our missiles, and we've got our howitzers. Those are kind of sitting funky. Okay. And he'll look like that, which I think is pretty neat. Big guns, smashy melee arm. Pretty cool looking. And this is unique to me, so I've done a thing. This is unique. This also would have been cool with more like double weapon arms. Would have been pretty neat. But this is unique. I've mixed, swapped the legs out. I've pulled a different housing for the top and made something that is truly unique to me. And I think that is really fun, and that's what it is that I like to do with Steel Rift in general. So we've got our heavy kind of done. I want to, again, spray these two different colors, so I need to get like a little rod to affix to the bottom of him so I can hold the torsos to spray. And color-wise, I was kind of thinking about going with the new teal color from Pro Acrylic. I don't have it easily accessible right now, but it's their new teal color that came out with their signature paints. You get the signature series, and I really like it, and I want an excuse to use it, so I was thinking like that kind of tealy color, and then maybe a gray pair of legs, and I think that'll look really nice, and then maybe some white highlights, or white stripes, I think would look nice. So next up, let's see who we want to work on. Let's work on this guy. So this one is a medium mech, or HEV, that I'm working on, and this one's got a variety of bits. So we have got a pair of Daiko legs from the Freelance, which is a medium. We've got a pair of the medium Freelance arms, or not Freelance, corporate arms, rather. And we've got some spots I can shave here while I'm looking at it. Clean up a little bit. Cleaned up a little bit. So from the 3D print process, we got some little dimples and such. Easily cleaned up. Alright, so we got legs from the Freelance medium HEV, the Daiko. We have the, I think this is the light, I think it's the Falk. This is the light torso from the Tracked Authority. I think it looks good, is a good substitute as a medium, considering the Daiko. Where is that? Considering this is the Daiko torso, right? And this is the medium, like, those are very comparable. So I grabbed this to be a proxy or conversion as a medium. So corporate bit, authority bit, freelance bit. We got a corporate shoulder gun, and then two of the new freelance industrial bits and one of the new multi-limb corporate bits. And I really want this guy to feel like a Titan from Titanfall. It's the kind of vibe I was going for, like BT. Or was it B2 or BT? That was kind of what I wanted, and maybe a bit just flew across the table. Maybe we have him, yeah, kind of leaning this way, and I think that'll be nice. So let's mount our legs here. And again, this is my favorite part of working with minis in general, but in particular Steel Rift. It drives my boss bonkers because he would like for me to paint more stuff and work on stuff, which makes sense. But I'm so invested in converting and the mix and match parts of Steel Rift, which is one of the things we encourage in the game. It makes it difficult to get product photos out of me because I convert stuff or use a bunch of bits, and that's not a representation of what's in the box. So little fist shaking and grumbling from him. But I digress. That is what I like to do, so we're working on that today. For this guy, it's also got this cool little spot, which is one of my favorite things in these mechs, so that you can do an antenna, which I think is going to be nice when we mount that on him. I don't think I've got those. Actually, I do. I may be able to actually affix some of this. I've got the stuff I use for antennas right here. Question is, do I have my pin vise in here? Let's take a peek, and yep, I think we do. So grab the pin vise here, and let's see if I can find my bits. And there's my bits. Perfect. So we can actually tackle that while we are here. I've freshly moved a few months back, and finding all of my hobby stuff is not always the easiest thing to do. So it is nice when I go to look for something and can find it pretty quickly. So letting our legs dry here and take a peek. I think which arm. I think maybe we'll do his right arm with the conversion thing that I want to do. How was I going to do this? Because I had a few options I was looking at. Because I really liked the idea of having that up there. But then I also really liked the idea of, excuse me, having this bit kind of mounted back here as well. Because it's got a very Titanfall kind of vibe to it, which I think is pretty neat. Let's see if that's going to interfere with the arm. I don't think so. So I think this is actually probably pretty good to just mount right here. I am going to kind of just get this a little flat. Get that. That probably would have been a little bit better with a sanding stick, which I don't think I have one easily accessible. Alright, let's see. I might have done it there. I did do that the wrong direction. So, let's see. Not that, so... kind of cut that here. There we go. Okay, because some of these Titans in Titanfall have like this big apparatus that hang off the shoulders, and it's kind of what I wanted to go for. Okay, so we're going to mount that right about there, which I think will be pretty cool. I'm not sure what I want to put in that yet. Probably some missiles. I think that'll look pretty neat. My glue is still taking forever to cure with this. I don't know what's going on. Usually it's really fast on the 3D print stuff. Yep, they're still struggling. Usually don't have any problems with gluing my 3D prints or using Zap-A-Gap's my favorite glue. I don't know what's going on. Alright, so I dig that. And again, if you guys happen to check out Titanfall, Titans, I think is what they're called, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about with the little shoulder gun things that they do. Because it's definitely a thing. And I kind of wanted to put this up here, but now I feel like this is in the way. And that is a little unfortunate. Can I get it mounted kind of beside that? No. Can't get it quite flush to the center. Whoops. Let's go about this a different way. Let's shave off that glue. Let's go ahead and mount this bit where I wanted it, and let's move that rocket pod to the other side. So we can mount this here in the spot I was initially going to put it. It's supposed to be there, yeah. So right here, it fits in, nestles in there quite nicely. If my glue will work. This is incredibly frustrating right now. I decided I want to sit down, do a hobby video, and just ramble with you guys, and now nothing is going right. Nothing wants to stay with the glue. And it sure as heck wants to stick to my fingers, though. But not the model. Okay, well, and yeah, so glued to my finger and it's gone in sideways. Alright, so that is relatively straight, it looks like, I think. Maybe it's, thought it was a smidge off and I wanted to fix it. I think that's just gonna be what it be now. Turn a little out. Alright, and since that glue was a little bit lacking, we're going to put a little bit up in here. And then we're going to grab our paper towel and I'm going to twirl that into kind of a straight piece here. And we're going to wick out some of that glue. boop. Okay, now let's try and clean off a little bit of this glue. Maybe we mount this on the guy's other side, so we balance the model a little bit. It'll be next to our antenna, but maybe we could put that over here. Okay. I could also have that kind of arced up, but I think we'll have it kind of forward facing. That'll look cool. If I could get our glue to cooperate. Okay. All right. I'm digging that. Looks relatively parallel to the ground. Getting our Titanfall vibe. And now, I think we got to determine our arm. I think we're still probably going to have it on this one. So one of the things I want to do is to mount this to the arm because I think it's going to be super cool. So we need to get this kind of nub off right here. So we're going to take this nub off. I feel like it's been a little while since I did any long form content. I feel like I need to maybe zoom the camera out. I'm struggling to stay fully in frame here because I'm so used to hobbying on my own and haven't really recorded a lot of hobbying in a while, so I'm a little out of practice, but at least we're rambling while we do this, right? That's always cool. Alright, so got that just about kind of flush. Alright, so now we're going to mount this. Alright, so we need to shave this off a little bit more. It's not quite lining up perfectly yet, but we are getting very close. Okay, let's try that. I might have overcompensated. Nope, I think we're good. Alright, so now we're going to drop in some glue. Okay, and we're going to pop this bit on there. And what I wanted was kind of an underslung weapon that looks like he could jettison, like drop it. And I think that that is going to give us that look, which is what I want. And then for this one, I don't know if we want to mount that on this arm or not. I think we might leave that arm clean. I think dude's got enough going on right now. So let's go ahead and... That is an awful extreme turn there. I feel like I may have overcompensated a little bit. So let's see if we can't pop these feet. There's one, two. Oops. Alright, so he was here. I think we're going to be a little bit more like that maybe. Because I feel like he was just too turned. Yeah, alright, so let's pop some more glue down. And we'll turn that just a smidge. It was a little too drastic of a twist, and I was not liking the torso position. Okay, so that looks like that's on there reasonably good. So now, whoop, nope, I spoke too soon. super glue is killing me today. Alright, so we want him kind of right here, and we're going to have this arm back a little bit. So we'll drop some glue, and he's kind of, maybe he's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it just gives us some nice momentum or forward presence or something, and it looks like he's moving, and I like that. Well, that's still wet, so he'll be kind of like this. Maybe that's a little too drastic of an arm, so we'll bring that up just a little. Okay. Okay. And then that's going to bring us to this arm, which is definitely the one that needs to be more forward and level. So let's grab this. And we're going to try and get this kind of level with his other weapons. That seems pretty level. Is this going to be... Actually, nope, it doesn't. It doesn't. I need to have that arced up. Those other guns are kind of aiming down, but that needs to be aimed up a little bit. So maybe like that. Maybe the whole torso needs to kind of lean back a little bit. Yeah, I think the whole torso just needs to lean back a little bit. Okay. So what I want to do for this one is we'll grab our weapon bits here. And I want to have kind of a rotary cannon on that, which I think would be pretty neat. This one right here. And I think that looks really cool to me. And that is, I wanted that. I don't know if that's going to be good for the gameplay, like that particular weapon for the medium, but visually, because that's what I care about, that's what's going on this guy. I think that is pretty cool. If I get that bit in there. My fingernail, there we go. Was struggling a little bit. The super glue is about to get tossed. There we go. So like again, it looks like he would just jettison that if he needed to. You could just like hit a button and drop that off his arm, because it makes it feel kind of like it's modular weapon systems, and that's kind of what I wanted. Okay, now that brings me to what we want for these other weapons. I like the idea of some missiles. So I think in his, this little guy right here, maybe we do a missile pod. And I think this is one of my favorite bits we make, just because like the quad of little missiles is just, it looks so cool, right? And then for this one, I like maybe the idea of maybe a howitzer there. Maybe. How do we feel about that, guys? Does that feel like it's too much? That might be too much. Maybe, what if it's a short barrel one? let's grab a shorty. I've got a couple of weapon sprues here. Let's grab one of these short ones. See what we got. This might be cool. That feels a little anemic, doesn't it? Maybe some kind of energy weapon. Like maybe this bit right here. Maybe that'll look cool. Okay. Let's see, there we go. So that'll go in like that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I wonder if is the long one going to look really dumb? Yeah. All right. So I think we go with the short energy one. Let's try one more. This is a different little laser bit. All right, yeah. All right, so I think this is the play for the visuals, because we can do some interesting we have some interesting opportunities to do some like little glow effects in the vents if we want to, or the coils, or both if we want. So I think that is the piece that goes here. Alright, so, and he will go there like so. And kind of be our like Titanfall guy. I think that is pretty cool. Pew, 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 pew. And we were talking about mounting one of our antennas on him, which we could probably do that now. Let's grab this, and I need the snips that I don't mind cutting this with. Let's see if I got those. Dude, here we go. I use different pair of snips for this, because these I don't mind if I tear up. So we'll grab some of this, and I think we don't need a crazy long one, so maybe let's give ourselves a little extra. Okay, so that cut pretty easy. So I've got this little metal rod, and we could put that right there, which looks neat. That means we need to get our drill bit, and I think the smallest one is the one that we're going to use. Okay. And we'll drill down in there. Okay. Alright, so let's come here and we'll put a little dribble of some glue. And that was a little excessive, so we'll wick some of that out with a paper towel. And then grab our antenna bit here and get that mounted in. And it is sticking to my finger and not to the mini. Okay, and we'll try and hold that up so that it will be straight. And the glue has dripped down the back and got on my finger. Cool. Alright. I don't hate it. He's very unique and interesting. An interesting little mech bro. And there we go. So there is our kind of Titanfall-esque medium HEV, which I like. It's very cool. Alright, so we got that fella there. And we got some bits here. I don't think we're going to be drilling anything out, so I'm going to put our pin vise away so I don't lose my bits. Okay. And let's see. Do we want to work on? Let's see. This is a light, and this is our other medium. Let's pop out the other medium here. Okay. And let's see. Kind of our positioning on the torso we want. So probably something like that. So we'll have these. There seems reasonable. This glue is killing me today, guys. It's legitimately not adhering to or sticking to anything that I'm working with. It's taking forever. It's like a brand new bottle, almost. Like, I've been working on some Star Wars Legion stuff, which traditionally I've struggled with getting the glue to work on that in the past, but, like, now I'm wondering if it's just a bad batch. Okay, I'm just going to let that sit, because holding it isn't helping, and I'm getting frustrated. I want it to glue. Alright, so we know that this guy's going to be relative to the legs. He's going to be kind of positioned canted this way, which means we probably want his right arm kind of forward, which will be another one with the Gatling, because that's what I want to do. So I think I had this bit set aside, because this is the medium freelance Daiko. This is the medium legs from the new freelance industrial, and these are corporate arms from, I believe, the medium, and the bipedal ones, and this is another one of the new multi-limb corporate bits right here. So that said, we're going to go ahead and shave this off like we did the last one, because it's going to be mounted in the same way on the same arm, basically. And I think we needed a little extra meat taken off, so we put this down on a cut mat. Boop. Cut a little bit of that off. Okay, let's compare it to his arm here. Oh, that is near perfect. I think we're gonna roll with that. So give him a little bit of the glue. And you guys will probably notice a trend as I'm working on getting these guys together, because the underslung weapons I think is very cool to me, and that is a thing that I'm leaning heavy into. I also, again, I really like to convert or customize minis to be my own. So I do this a lot with stuff just to get some subtle flair change, or to make the mini kind of feel like it's got my little touch. So I think that is cool. I feel like this one I initially was going to have it underslung as well, but I don't think it's going to look as good. So I think maybe we stick with the standard 3 weapon systems that the dude has got. And unless I want to put, I don't know, I feel like 3 weapons on that's going to be too much. So let's go ahead and mount this. And so this one will be kind of up level with the other guns. Okay, so it's going to be kind of like that. And then this arm's going to be just slightly, probably kind of slightly back. Yeah, I think that's probably okay. I was wondering if I want to put a little antenna on this guy and then have to pull those bits back out. I could drop it like right back here. That would actually be kind of cool. What do you guys think? I think maybe we do that. I think that would actually be kind of cool to have a little like antenna thing on this guy too. Maybe I could do that on more of my guys. It's definitely a possibility. Maybe save that for another day, but I think maybe we get those little antennas on a variety of my guys to look, just add the little extra flair. But yeah, I think that looks cool. He's got those big burly shoulders. Let's go ahead and grab another one of our weapon bits here, or weapon sprues. And we're going to grab the rotary cannon for this fella as well. And again, I kind of wanted to look like he could jettison this if he needed to use his hand for something more important. He could drop his gun. It's mecha mayhem, mecha combat. Doesn't have to make sense forever and always. Just needs to look cool. Okay. I actually kind of feel like maybe the shorty barrel might actually look visually appealing here. Let's try this one. Let's see while our glue's taken. Yeah, okay. Shorty barrel, I think, is what we do for this one. He gets the snub nose rotary cannon. Yeah, I think that balances out his arm a little bit better. And I think we grab our little missiles because I like them and they look cool. And that'll be like that. And I think maybe we actually double tap those just for the visual sake, because I think that's going to look really cool on him. So we'll grab this one here. Plop that in. Boom. Boom. And then we'll grab one off the sprue here. Boom. And as we are working on these guys, again, I would love to know what you're working on, whether it's Battletech or other minis or maybe making conversions of your own. This is cool. It's got some therapeutic aspects of it to me for getting hobby time in, and I'd be curious to know like what you guys are working on, what you're doing. But there we go. Our big guy with all the missiles. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So we got our two mediums, and we got a heavy. Where is our other heavy? Let's whip that bad boy out. Where you at? This one I am very excited about because I think he is going to look really interesting. So this is another heavy mech. This one is from the freelancers as well, the new industrial ones, and this is the actual legs for them and the actual torso. And I think he looks menacing and cool. So let's grab a base for that. Get those little footy paws, bare feet of this guy onto a base. Oops. Okay. The glue is really driving me bonkers today. My goodness, is it really annoying today. It's just really struggling. Okay. So, while that's drying, some of the cool stuff for this guy that I think is very interesting is we've got another one of the rotaries apparatus, which I think is cool, and this one we're going to be able to mount way further back, so the long barrel is going to bounce. Dang it. I'm just going to go ahead and mount that in there so that I can adequately show you guys what I want to show you. So we're going to go ahead and mount that barrel. Ta-da! I feel like we have these where they have that little notch in them, so they go in one way, but they kind of end up going... I can kind of twirl that around in there. It's not a very tight fit. I also think the round cylinder nature of the, or cylinder-like nature of the housing lends itself well to these. So with this one, we're going to mount it back here. So it actually is completely underslung, and his hand is kind of out of the way. And for this one, I'm going to grab a pair of snips, because I can make this a little easier on myself. Since I was shaving those other ones the whole way, this one I could go ahead and get a jump start by cutting off chunk of that. Okay. And then we will mount, I think, actually we're probably going to shave the front portion of this just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And mount it like so. Actually, do I want that to be a little more flush? Yep. Alright, so let's go ahead and first of all shave off just a little bit more of this right in here. That's going to shove the whole barrel assembly forward a little bit more, slightly, and then we'll shave this down just a little bit extra. Okay, so I think that's probably going to be good. Yep. Alright, so let's go ahead and mount this, or attempt to, since the super glue is being a little pain in the butt. Okay, and actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and shave right here, because we've got some dimples from the 3D printing. Okay. Now, there we go. And this one's mounted way back, but he's got those long barrels, so I think it balances out pretty well. Okay, kind of eyeballing that. Looks like it is relatively... Well, it was straight till I nicked it. Alright, so I think we're pretty straight. We're not quite parallel anymore, so let's push it forward a little bit. And I think that is probably about as good as it's going to get. We're going to put a little glue right back here. And did glue actually come out? Okay. And we'll grab our little paper towel here and we'll wick out the excess. Alright, so we're going to leave that for a moment while it dries and show you like this arm bit. Like, how cool is that? Rah! So these are Authority melee arms, and it's so cool. Because I was kind of thinking with this guy right here, like, this arm is just ready to, like, it's ready to rock. Like, rah! And I think that that is very neat. Super cool. So we'll come in here and kind of gauge roughly how this torso is going to sit, and then we'll just have this arm kind of out to the side. It looks pretty cool to me. And then his other arm here. Gonna kind of try and get it like he's like bracing and shooting or something. He's big. This dude's big. Oh, that's funny. Got those big wide arms on him. Very neat. All right, and so now we're going to grab these bits here, and we're going to mount them to his upper torso, shoulder area. And these are just straight from the new Freelance Industrial arm housing spruce. Okay. Our glue is just taking it. Oh my goodness! It literally is like got no bite to it, like no teeth. It takes so long for it to actually. Yeah, it's like normally it starts to like bond pretty quick, and I can like slowly make adjustments. But like this one's just not cooperating with me. All right. And for his spinner torso here, big surprise, we're going to throw in some of our little missile bits, because those are the ones that I like. I think they look cool. Actually, I think maybe we put... is this going to look stupid with really long autocannons? Yes, but short autocannons. How do those look? Let's check one of those bad boys out. I don't know how I feel about that one. What about this one? I don't hate that. That does look kind of cool. Question is, do I want to put 2 of that? Because I like the balance with mechs and I like the visuals. I don't care. Don't care for that one up there. I think the missiles are going to go up there. I don't mind that because that housing is pretty neat. So maybe we roll with that. So we'll hold for that one for now. We're going to go ahead and get our missiles mounted because I think shoulder or top-mounted missiles looks cool. So we'll go with that one. See what we can do. And yeah, I reckon we send it on this one because I think that looks cool. The question is, do we want to double up or not for visual's sake? So we're gonna throw that one in there because I think that is kind of cool. This is basically like I think that's our shotgun bit from the game. No, it's not. Because I think this is kind of our shot cannon, I think. So this autocannon, it's like a rail. This is like our kind of PPC thing. This is our Gatling. I think this is like a laser. This is the mortar. And I forget, some kind of scattergun. I don't remember what that one is. I don't remember. I should know these things. I don't want a howitzer in the chest. This seems goofy. What would a rail look like? Probably dumb. Do you look kind of stupid? Yeah, kind of dumb. What do you feel like, guy? What are you feeling? You know, I could get like a little targeter so he can say he sees things. So we could drop one of these in his chest and see what that looks like. Except I can't actually get that down in there and lined up properly. Let's see. So that goes in. Alright, Bit. I need you to cooperate. No, so this one is tedious as hell to get in there because these are notched to go. There we go. Go in a certain way. Nope, nope, don't like that. I don't like that big circle thing just sitting there. It looks goofy. Nope, don't like that. Alright, so let's grab another weapon sprue. This time we're going to grab another one of our light sprues, and we will go ahead and I guess we'll just go ahead and just double up. Be done with it. Yep. All right. So there we go. Big old chunky boy, and there's his legs. He's rah rah rah. He's very angry. So I think that looks pretty neat. Lots of guns ready to go forward and smash. So we've got 2 heavies, 2 mediums done. That leaves us with our lights and ultra heavy. So let's go ahead and grab our light here, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom out because I've been kind of off frame half the time anyway. And so here is one of our little light bros. This is the light legs and light mech from our HEV from the the freelancers, the new industrial ones, and these are corporate melee arms, which I think look really cool. They pair pretty well with these. So let's go ahead and just mount this guy's little feeties. Okay. And I think for our other lights using different legs, so we'll skip him. We're going to go ahead and mount these little weapon bits up top, or housings. Whoops, housings up top. If I could actually get the glue to stick. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Nope. Alright, so I need you to turn in a little, and you to turn in a little. Boop. Okay. Got his little bunny ears. It's cute. He's cute. I think maybe our boy here gets his own little rotary, because I think that's going to look cute. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's so funny. Alright, so he's going to get a rotary and I think a missile bit, because I think that'll look cool. So get that in there. Grab his rotary. Oh, he's gonna be so adorable. An adorable little guy. Okay, and then our little missile bit. I'll grab this one. I love the quad missiles. I just think they look really good on pretty much everything. And we're going to put just a little dab of glue there so it wicks down. And then grab our little paper towel piece here and wick up any excess there. And then relative to our mini, he's going to be kind of positioned like this. So we'll have his arms. Let's see if we can't get a cool pose here. Okay. And he's just like, who doesn't want that? Oop, we just break his legs off the base. Good job, Justin. Good job. Alright. That said, those legs are fine. We're going to let that dry. And now we've got one of our little light bros together. And I think that's adorable. That's not actually what I initially envisioned, but those shoulder mounts of those guns look so cute. For our second light, and you'll notice a trend here. I got 2 lights, 2 heavies, 2 mediums. Our second light is going to be a little bit more trolly, and he's going to be on some Finnick legs looking really goofy. But I think he's going to be adorable, and that's what I wanted. Our lights are kind of like the urban mix of Battletech. Our Finnick is just derpy enough to be cute, especially with this. You guys will see once I mount this torso, he's going to look so dumb. Well, I guess you won't see the torso mounted, but you'll see me like hold it in place so you can see what it'll look like. Oh, trying to get those legs to hold, but they're giving me trouble mounting today, as all of this stuff has. Okay. So let's go ahead and mount his shoulder weapons. Okay, so that looks like it's forward facing pretty well. And then let's grab this one. Okay. And for these, I think we're going to run dual missiles because I think it's going to be cute. So we got that one. He's like going to be like a tiny little mad cat. But not. Okay. Alright, so let's come over here. A little glue. Glue. If you're not doing sound effects while you're building models, what are you even doing? It's the fun part. Okay. Alright, those are a little crooked. I'm doing the best I can to try and line that up, but it's probably as good as it's going to get. And then we're going to have these cool, like, like cylinder arms, like, on his side here. It's so adorable. So let's go ahead and grab. We need 2 more rotary bits because that's what he initially was going to have because he's adorable. Which means we're going to need 2 more of our long weapon spruce, of which I got plenty. And so we need this bit and this bit. Right. Oops. Chasing the little bits around. And if you guys are enjoying this, please sound off in the comments below. If this is dumb and you've made it this far, I appreciate you being here. But if you enjoy this and you like having someone ramble while they hobby, because you feel like you're doing some hobby with someone else, let me know. Because this is something I might try and continue doing. When I sit down to actually have some personal hobby time, I might just record an hour of it or so. And throw it up here so you guys can see what I'm working on, get kind of an update, and listen to me ramble. And maybe for a little bit of time for that day, you got a little hobby buddy. Kind of what I'm thinking. Oops. Okay. Struggling. Okay. Well, that time it cured pretty quick. So here's the goofy legs. Look at him. He looks so dumb. Oh, he's so dumb. Oh, God. He's so stupid looking, but he's so stupid. He's cute. Oh, he can't help it. He can't help it. He can't help it. He looks so dumb. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try and mount one of these bad boys here and see how we're looking. I'm sure we're going to have to adjust. Actually, do I have any other weapon sprues with me? Whoops. I do. Alright, we got this one. I want to see what these two bits will look like before that glue sets. Will he look cool with his weapons kind of dropped down? No. They're going to look dumb. They're going to look dumb as hell. So, though, do you like... I'm going to try something. We're going to see how much this mangles. No, we're not. I'm not going to do it that way. I wonder if I can slice this along this edge and see if we can't get an interesting conversion bit out of this. Well, we got like half, not even half, quarter of the way into that. So let's try that a second time. We did get through it, and it flew across the room, so yay me for losing part of a bit, but it's not perfect. But if it's on the underside, you might not really see it. Because I feel like that's going to give us some spacing that is desperately needed for this. Because that'll push that out a little bit. Because this is like right up on him. And that's going to push his arms out a little bit, which I think is probably a good thing. So let's go ahead and chop off one more of these. Now that we know we can, okay. All right, so the socket is on this side here, I think. There's a dual. Is that kind of dual? No, so that sits in on this side, so that'll go like that. And we'll have this kind of aimed down. Alright, so this is going to go on this side. Okay, and this one goes on this side, so, and it's not quite sitting in this way. All right, so that one, that's where it's kind of sitting in. All right, so, okay. All right. The glue is not quite seeped down to that one, so we're just gonna like run down the edge of that. Okay. So now I need to, yeah. So like that's really shoving his weapons out to his side. I feel like this is like a jumpy mech. So he's gonna kind of sit about like that, and we want his guns aimed outward. So let's get a little glue going on in this one. Okay. And try the best we can to hold that roughly the way that that torso is going to set when he's mounted, which should be about like that. Probably shave out the back of that a little bit. And then we want the gun to be looking like it's actually able to shoot stuff. So something like that, I think. Let's actually have it kind of aimed in a little. Yep. Okay. And then we'll do the same for the other one. This one needs to be turned in just a smidge. And this one too, just a smidge. Beep, beep. This one needs to be turned out just a smidge. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Alright, that's still a little off. Alright, so he's going to sit kind of like that. So he looks kind of like an Uziel, sort of. And I think to give him some space, I think we're going to shave out a little bit of the rear of this housing here, or his hips. Okay. That helped a little bit. Let's see what's actually touching here. Okay, so it's kind of this little part on him that's touching, so we're going to come in and we're just going to remove that little piece, right? Whoops. Just have an arm fall off. No big deal. Okay, one of his little, basically, kind of one of his, oh, it's the whole arm. So kind of one of his vertebrae here. Okay. Looks like that is arced up a little too much. That's pretty close. And cool. That's up out of the way. So yeah. He's going to be a squatty mech, maybe like a jump jetty bro who gets into position, squats down, and pew, 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 pew. I think he looks adorable, and he's cute, and he's just ready to roll. So that is light number 2. So we have light 1, light 2. Then we have our medium 1, medium 2, heavy 1, heavy 2. So boom, boom, boom. And that is going to bring us to, last but not least, our ultra heavy. And that'll be the last guy we work on today. And this is the Klondike, and he's one of my favorite models from the new lineup. He's so cool looking. And of our setup here, for our minis, the freelancers desperately needed some love in terms of their visuals, and Austin made some really good models for these, because the Authority and the Corporate were all like new models when he made them, and the freelancers were kind of what we had on hand. They were some of the original models we had been working with before we even had a game, some of them, which the Daiko is one of my favorites, but it was also the most recent freelance model until the new ones. So its design was just a little superior to the other ones, and when we came out with these, I was super happy. And the Klondike, look at that torso. Look at that thing. It's absolutely madness. And I'm putting rotary cannons in the bottom because it looks like he has belt feed going up to it. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way, because I think it's absolute madness. Okay, and that way. There we go. There's the flat. Boop. So goofy looking. Oh, ridiculous. Alright, so I was going to have this little gizmo up on his shoulder here. So we got a little extra something something. And this is one of the new, I've kind of been going through most of the bits here. This is the actual Klondike torso and legs. This one, for this light here, this was the Authority legs, the real, or the Finnick. So this guy is pure on that front. However, he is going to be rocking corporate melee arm bits from the Ultra Heavy, I think, which I believe is the Aegis. Like, these arms just look, gosh dang it. This glue today has been just so ridiculous. Okay, so I got that in. Looks a little canted. Alright, and so we've got these cool arms that look just so sick. And of course, you know, we got this guy, and you know what that means. We're going to be mounting one to his arms. Except for this one, which is just going to kind of be there. Because it's just what he's going to do. Hada! So look at that beefy boy. Just absolute madness. And we'll see how we want to mount this to this arm. I actually don't really like that on that arm at this point. Maybe we don't do that. I feel like it might look kind of stupid. Because it would have to be mounted pretty short and wouldn't be up there. Mounting on that would be dumb. I wouldn't want to mount it to his elbow. I could, I suppose. But I don't know if I like that. So maybe he doesn't do that. Do I have the other melee weapons? I do, but I don't know if I want that. Do I have any other housings to mount stuff on his shoulders? Nothing here. I got a whole bunch of bits, but I kind of tapped out with where I wanted to be. I feel like my intentions were for this to be like a howitzer, maybe. Yeah, I like that. So we'll do howitzer. I like the little bit of asymmetry we're getting on both sides here, which is very cool. And then we need some more missile bits, because you guys guessed it, that's what I'm going to run, because they look cool. So we got 1 and 2, and I just knocked this little weapon bit off. So we'll get that fixed. Let's put your howitzer back on, bud. Okay, and let's come here. Burp, burp. Okay, so this one's going to be a pain in the butt to get in because it is so small. Okay. And even the tweezers weren't helping me. Okay. Because there's only one way that this can go in. Cut. Frustrating. Because it's got a flat spot on it. And there we go. So we get the first one in. And second one, your turn. Okay. Have it your way, little weapon bit. You look cool, but you're tedious. Why aren't you going in? Literally, why aren't you going in? What is the problem? What is the problem? I really had to mash that one in there. He's in there now. So we got our dual missiles, we got our rotary, we got our howitzer, and our melee bro here. And maybe that's all we do. Maybe we just have the melee arms because they look cool, and the howitzer's kind of sideways. Scoot over, bud. Okay. Because I really think if we were to mount something on that arm, it's just going to look kind of dumb. Because he'll be like this. Ish. And then we'll have that arm here. And it will be up. I suppose maybe we do. Maybe we throw that on there. Maybe we just throw it on the elbow and we go with it. You know what? We're not. I feel like it's got too much going on already. We're just gonna leave it like it is and be just fine. All right. So go like that. And we'll just kind of grip roughly how he'll be positioned and get his arm kind of out. So it'll be kind of like this, like he's almost ready to box. And I think that's cool. So that is our ultra heavy for my freelance murky dudes I'm working on. Here is heavy number 1. Here is heavy number 2. So I got some pretty Franken-mech looking stuff. Here is medium number 1. Again, these aren't in the actual order that I did them. It's just the order I picked them up off the table. We've got medium number 2, our little Titanfall guy. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pew, 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 pew. It definitely looks like he's kind of aiming down. But we'll try and arc him up if we can. And then we have got our light number 1, which is so adorable. Look at it, little guy. Little guy. I'm strong too, Dad. Pew, 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 pew. And then light number 2, who I think is absolutely goofy as shit and funny. He's so funny. Absolutely love it. I wonder what this guy would look like on this thing. Look at him. He can't even work because his arms. But this one's funny. So funny. I wonder what he'd look like on those. The arms don't look quite as good on this one being set out like they do, but they look really good on this because they balance out his wide legs. And it looks like he's hopping, like hop, 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 hop. And then finally, the last guy that we worked on is the Ultra Heavy Bro, which is ready to punch stuff. That is the guy. That said, folks, I think that is pretty much going to do it today. I really didn't have much of a plan for what I'm doing here, beyond the fact that I just wanted to build some minis and talk to you about it. So these are some models I'm working on for Steel Rift for Death Designs, where I work. If you want to support what I do, check out deathdesigns.com. Got a coupon code in the description below. Save you 10% and help support me at my day job. And hopefully I'll have some follow-up videos as I get some hobby progress in on these. Maybe I'll airbrush them and ramble while I work on them and stuff like that, because I think that'll be a fun series for you guys to just hang out while I set aside some hobby time for myself to work on things. And this seems relevant because it is mecha and my channel is dedicated heavily to Battletech. So I think this will work out. And we have all these bits I didn't talk about, which didn't get used, but this is one of the beauties of Steel Rift, is being able to convert to your heart's desire. Only one of these is mostly stock, and it's this guy. Actually, two of them, because he's mostly stock except the arms, and then this guy's mostly stock except the arms, and then this guy's actually mostly stock except the arms. So about half were mostly stock using a bunch of bits, and the other half were hodgepodged, and I think that is really cool. Also got the ultralights, which this is my favorites. The Cobalt models, which match these, are my favorite of our ultralights and are super cool, so I'll be able to add those to the collection too. But that said, folks, I think that's going to bring me to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like and subscribe. Sign up in the comments below if you want to support what I do. You know what to do. Check out Fortress Miniatures and games for all your hobby needs. If you want to get your paint on, check out Monument Paints Pro Acrylic. You know what to do. Coupon code there to save you some cash, and the Pro Acrylic paints are my go-to. They're my favorite. It's what I use for 99% of my painting. And if you want to be a super supporter, maybe consider becoming a patron. That said, as always, if I don't sign off, I'll find something to ramble about. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed this journey, but it's time for me to sign off. As always, keep painting or building your models, keep rolling your dice, and I will catch you guys next time.